What's up, everybody? I'm MCU Sumo. Please forgive me if my voice sounds weird. I've been sick lately. I'm coming at the end of it. But regardless of that, Guang has dropped a bomb of information on us, and unfortunately, it's ruined the video I've been working on. So I'm gonna rush this video out instead. He dropped the Season 7 trailer and the Season 7 devlog. These two things are full of information, and I think I've used everything that I know to piece together what lore you need to know and where Season 7 is going from a lore standpoint. Okay, first I want to go over the information that was just released in the trailer and the devlogs. So we know that Kingpin is mayor of New York. He has declared martial law and is currently rounding up all time stream vigilantes because Alchemax from the 2099 timeline has found a way to bring themselves to the present day Manhattan and is currently taking over territories and transforming it into the 2099 Nueva York. So in an attempt to combat Alchemax and fix the timelines, Kingpin has hired Black Cat to steal a mystical tablet that he thinks can fix that. Also, we know that one of the people that he has imprisoned is Luna Snow, which puts him at odds with White Fox, who is trying to rescue her teammate Luna Snow. Now, Black Cat and White Fox are gonna be the new characters for Season 7. I made a video predicting all the characters I thought would come out this year, and Black Cat and White Fox were like the freebies. Everyone had been expecting them, but it is nice to be correct sometimes, even if it's an easy question. Now, that is all the upfront information that we've just received from the trailer and from Guang. In this video, I want to share with you some old lore from the game that will be relevant this season, or at least I think will be relevant this season, as well as try to answer some questions that they have left unanswered in this trailer. So first off, it seems like this go around we're gonna have two main antagonistic forces, being Kingpin and Alchemax. So let's start with Kingpin. While we don't know that much about Kingpin lore-wise, we do have some pretty important information on him. One, we know that he's mayor. We know that he's rounding up vigilantes, and we do know, thanks to the Marvel Rivals tie-in comic, a few of the people that he has captured. We know for a fact that Captain America has been arrested and Luna Snow has been captured. We also know that Parker Robbins, who's a villain known as the Hood, is also currently in prison with Captain America. I bring this up because in my predictions video, I also predicted that the Hood would be coming to Marvel Rivals this year. So it's nice to see a little bit of setup for that. I might end up being right. So we also know that Kingpin hired Black Cat to steal this mystical tablet, which I will get to soon because I think I've identified exactly what that tablet is. But the trailer shows us Black Cat's attempt to steal the tablet was foiled by White Fox. Now, Black Cat is a character that is money driven, so she does these heists for personal gain. She also does jobs for hire, and she will double cross people if she thinks the pros outweigh the cons. Now, she's also a good person. Like, her moral compass isn't completely evil, so I think she will switch sides. She's gonna double cross Kingpin, not for the money because that risk outweighs that reward, but I think her conscience will get the best of her and she's gonna switch and join the hero side, kind of like what Elsa Bloodstone and Deadpool did in Season 6. Either way, we know that she does end up double crossing Kingpin because we all saw the wanted posters for Black Cat in the Times Square map for Marvel Rivals. So she either runs off with the tablet herself or she gives it to the heroes because she is aware of its power and how bad it would be if Kingpin gets it. The other thing we know about Kingpin, this is more about his personality in the comics, but Kingpin is an obscenely selfish person and he puts on a front of having the greater good in mind, but he's always making plays behind the scenes that benefit him. So while the trailers are saying that he wants this tablet because it will save New York from Alchemax, I highly doubt that is the case. And it also seems in Marvel Rivals that Kingpin has a habit of collecting artifacts. Only reason I bring that up is because the only other instance of Kingpin in Marvel Rivals was an auction for a page of the Darkhold from his Wilson Fisk Foundation company or something like that. So he kind of has a history of getting these artifacts and flipping them, which I don't necessarily know if his goal was to flip the tablet, but I do know that Fisk isn't always what he puts on to be. Anyway, next, let's get to Alchemax. While it may seem a little bit out of left field for Alchemax to be invading modern day Manhattan, I think I know the reason why, and I think it ties into the fact that Captain America is there. So for those of you that don't know, the Eternal Nights present day Manhattan, New York timeline, that's where the season 1 happened with Dracula. In this timeline, Captain America is dead. So the Captain America that Fisk has in prison is actually from the 2099 timeline. So in that timeline, Captain America was never unthawed. He was actually found by Alchemax, and he was in an Alchemax lab this whole time until 2099. And in that timeline, Alchemax controls most of, if not all of the world in a kind of Big Brother surveillance state type of way. And Black Widow is leading the resistance that is fighting them, kind of a thorn in their side. She goes and she frees Captain America from this lab, and she instantly becomes public enemy number 1, and she vanishes. And Wolverine, who is our present day Wolverine, but warped because Krakoa was sent into the future during the time stream entanglement, he joins the resistance, and he helps Captain America get out of the 2099 timeline completely. He sends him to the Intergalactic Empire Wakanda timeline with Shuri. So this whole time, while we've been going through Marvel Rivals, literally every season 1 through 6, on shenanigans, fighting Null and Ultron and all this, Alchemax is like, where is our bag? Where's our money? Where's our boy at? And I think somehow they've traced Captain America, Black Widow, or Wolverine back into present day New York. Now, Alchemax does have a desire to control and conquer the world. So I think for them to go into this new timeline and see it ripe for the taking, they're obviously going to take advantage of it. And that explains them taking over Manhattan and making it in their image and all that. But I think ultimately they are here for Captain America, Black Widow, and or Wolverine. But most likely they just want Captain America back. Now, I said they tracked him back to the present day somehow, but I think I know how, because the last gallery card of season 6 is about Deadpool and how he escapes the Collector's Museum with all the monsters, and they end up in Krakoa, and they do a redux of Rogue and Gambit's wedding. Now, Krakoa is in 2099, but Elsa Bloodstone convinces him that he needs to take care of these monsters, so Magic and Scarlet Witch open a portal for him to go back to present day Manhattan, well actually present day Staten Island, and he declares Staten Island the new kingdom of monsters with him as king of the monsters. I think somehow opening this portal might have tipped off Alchemax or something, and they use that to figure out where the heroes are, or at least where what they're looking for is. Okay, now let me double back and talk about this tablet, because when I saw this tablet, I knew that the design was too specific for it not to be something. So I was doing research at work. I was on the clock worrying about this game, and I think I found it. So I think the tablet that he's stealing is something called the Lifeline tablet, or the Tablet of Life and Time. Quick addendum, Guan keeps playing with me and dropping new information. So I recorded this video on the 17th. As of today, the 18th, Guan has released the roadmap for season 7, and the battle pass is called the Tablet of Life and Time. So this entire part where I speculate about what the tablet is going to be is kind of moot, but I'm going to leave it in because I elaborate on some of the details of the tablets and how the tablet might be used in the season. But I just wanted to let you guys know I am aware that this is confirmed. This is just canon now. So, all right, back to the previous me. So this tablet is actually an ancient Atlantean relic, which would put it in Namor's history, Namor's realm. But what it has on it is a formula for something called like the Lifeline formula or something like that, which can heal anything, including aging, and temporarily gives you the powers of a god. So this is one of the reasons why I think Kingpin isn't entirely honest about his motivations for this tablet, because if Kingpin gets this tablet and gets this formula, even though it won't be forever, or with how things are shifted by Chronovium, it could also make it forever, or maybe you just need the tablet, you don't even need the potion. Chronovium is messing up artifacts all the time. So either way, this potentially would give Wilson Fisk the powers of a god, or we can at least say the powers over life and time. This is why I think Black Cat's conscience gets the best of her, because Black Cat is in the criminal underworld, even though she's morally gray, but she's more morally righteous than a lot of the other criminals in New York. So I think the idea of Kingpin being a god is just enough for her to double cross and switch up on the contract instantly. Now, the reason why I think that it is the tablet of life and time is, one, I'm gonna put a picture of them up from the comics and from the trailer, and that's probably enough. But also, Kingpin is kind of already tied to the tablet of life and time, because in the comics he currently owns the flip side of that tablet, which is the tablet of death and entropy, which this also might kind of set up Mr. Negative in some way, I don't know. But this is a tablet Mr. Negative used to create Devil's Breath, which is some kind of like Mr. Negative's like key virus. So the fact that he already has a connection, and I don't know if I've talked about it yet, I've had a lot of videos on the back burner that keep getting re-recorded and re-edited, but this Kingdom of Eternal Night timeline, present day timeline, I feel like is kind of where they're gonna try and do stuff that sticks more to the comics, the mainline comics. So like even Kingpin being mayor of New York kind of ties into Devil's Reign, which was a mainline comic where he was mayor of New York and he made it illegal to be a vigilante. Granted, this isn't a one-to-one, like Kingdom of Eternal Night was also a mainline comic event, and that one was more one-to-one with each other a little bit. But you know, with the Marvel Rivals time stream entanglement, Chronovium spin on it. So I think anything that is canon or a canon event in the comics is more likely to appear in this timeline. So I really do think that we're looking at the tablet of life and time. That is all the information that I truly have to offer. But I do think that we're gonna get some more information or questions answered this season. We're gonna learn more about Alchemax. We might even find out who's the owner, because in some situations the owner is Miguel O'Hara or Spider-Man 2099. So it's possible that we'll get an elaboration on that. I think we'll certainly be setting up the Hood. I don't think it's a coincidence that Kingpin has an invested interest in these magical items. Also in the tie-in comics, Parker Robbins, or the Hood, he's not the Hood yet, but he's in jail. He kind of has a bone to pick with Kingpin, so it's looking like maybe he might raid Kingpin's magical artifact stash, and that's how he gets his signature cloak and artifacts. We also might get some information on the Agents of Atlas. It is specifically stated that White Fox is here to save her fellow member of the Agents of Atlas. If you don't know who the Agents of Atlas are, they're a team of superheroes, mostly consisting of like Marvel's Asian and Pacific Islander heroes that just go around the world and do Avengers type stuff. On that team we have people like Amadeus Cho, White Fox, Luna Snow, Shang-Chi, Kamala Khan was on there once, I believe. These are characters that they might set up, or we might see get mentioned, or we might see the introduction of the Atlas Foundation, which is kind of like the overarching corporation that is in charge of the Agents of Atlas. All right, now that's probably the end of the actual video, but I do want to take some time to talk about like my channel. So if you want to hear it, stick around. If not, I will see you in the next video. So for everyone that's still here, I kind of said it before, I've been recording videos, re-recording, editing videos, re-editing videos, and they've kind of been in a bit of a state of limbo. A couple of videos I'm gonna have to scrap now because of all this information. Kind of just fumbles the video, but I've been working on a sister video to my Marvel Rivals 2026 Heroes predictions, which would be my stage predictions. I'm kind of mad because they announced an Alchemax stage, which I did have in the video, but it was obviously in 2099. But I was predicting that we would get like an Alchemax Tower stage or something, which they mentioned Alchemax Tower was sent to present day Manhattan, and we're getting a lower Manhattan stage. So I'm pretty sure those two things are gonna coincide with each other. We'll have Alchemax Tower in lower Manhattan. I'm also working on lore videos. I've been trying to break up the lore videos by character instead of by season. A lot of people are doing it by season. I've been trying to give you all the lore you need to know on whatever character you fancy. Let me know in the comments which one you would prefer, if I break it up by season or break it up by character. I might end up doing both. Let me know which character you would want me to do if that's the route that I go. Also, this channel is looking at Marvel Rivals from a primarily lore standpoint, so I don't really know how to feel about doing news and updates for stuff like this. This one was an easy call because the news in the trailer is full of lore, but they had recently announced the Path to Doomsday events, and I was working on a video for that, but I didn't really know how to spin it in regards to lore. So also let me know if you would want just straight up news and updates, and I can try to put my Marvel Rivals lore knowledge in it if I can, but if not, it is what it is. Other than that, I'm just kind of rambling now, so if you're still here, you know, please subscribe, stick around. I love talking about Marvel Rivals and all the lore and stuff, and hopefully we'll see if I'm right. I love these predictions. When season 7 is over, we can double back and maybe see what I got wrong, what I got right. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.